Hey guys, Straight Up MTG here, bringing you guys an Esper control deck tech for the season of Journey to Nyx Standard. So this deck is really just responds to everything. Starting off with the land base, we have a playset of Godless Shrine, just great shock lands, always awesome to have a ton of shock lands. Then followed by a playset of Hallowed Fountain. Azourius is the main color combination in this deck, mainly because of Supreme Verdict, Sphinx Revelation, Azourius Charm, Detention Sphere. And we also have a playset of Watery Grave. Just dual lands, especially shocks, are always great to have. Then we have a playset of Temple of Enlightenment. As I said, we have 4 of these because Azourius is our main color combination in this deck. And then we're going to have only 3 Temple of Deceit, because temples, they do come in tapped, which is a bit of a disadvantage. Then we have 3 Temple of Silence. Just still great to scry. Orzhov is probably the second biggest. And then we're going to have also 3 Mana Confluence. We're going to need some mana fixing, and this is the card to do it right here. Then we are going to have 2 AEtherling. Probably the main win condition, also alongside Elspeth and Blood Baron, but this is really hard to get rid of, especially in the mirror. And then we have 1 Blood Baron as Viskopa, a great card, especially against white and black decks, Orzhov control, Esper even. And then we're going to have a playset of Dissolve, just a great counterspell, especially for this season of Standard. Last season was like, I forget the name of it, but we go on to 3 Detention Sphere. Great to get rid of gods, planeswalkers, and a lot of other threats. Then we're going to have the usual playset of Sphinx's Revelation. Who doesn't want to gain X life and draw X cards at instant speed? It's pretty hard to deal with. And then we have 3 Azourius Charm. Just great to cycle or to get their creatures back on top of their library. And then we're going to have a playset of Supreme Verdict, mainly coming out against control. Just doesn't do a whole lot, but great against aggro and midrange. And then we're going to have a playset of Heroes Downfall. They play an Elspeth. You downfall it, they only get 3 tokens. It's not a very big threat, neither is any other planeswalker. Then we have 2 Quicken. Quicken Supreme Verdict is just a great combo, and you can also draw a card at instant speed if you need a response. And then we have 2 Thoughtsieze, a great early game disruption spell that can get their main threats out of their hand early game and take a couple life, but no big deal. Then we have a playset of Jace, Architect of Thought. One of the best planeswalkers in Standard right now, in my opinion. He gives great card advantage and prevents aggro from going very far. And then we're going to have 2 Elspeth, Sun's Champion. Just a great win con that can get it done 3 turns, really. 4, technically. But then we have 1 Banishing Light. Just great if we don't have the blue and the white for Detention Sphere. Journey into Nyx, just uncommon, actually, which is really surprising. And then we're going to have the sideboard for Esper Control. We start off with 2 Render Silent. Just great to shut out control when they can't get rid of your stuff right away. And then we're going to have 3 Deicide. Great to get rid of gods. This is probably the prime removal for gods right now in Standard for decks running white. And then we're going to have 2 Gainsay. Great against the Mirror Esper, Azourius Control, Azourius Devotion, and Mono Blue Devotion. Great counterspell for those decks. And then we're going to have 2 Negate, which is just a great card for most control decks and other kind of mid-rangey control decks. And then we're going to jump right into 2 Thoughtsieze, the other half of the playset that we didn't include in the main board. So just, as I said, the best disruption spell in Standard right now. Then we're going to have 2 more Banishing Light, aside from the 1 that we got in the main deck. Just great unless in need of getting rid of extra gods. Then we have 2 Dark Betreyal, great against Mono Black Devotion, and Rakdos Humans, stuff that run a lot of black. And thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe and comment telling me which booster box to open at 50 subscribers, and tell your friends so we can get there and open that box.